So in addition to the fact that you have one of the most impressive discographies I think anybody can have, you, for the last 30 years, have done it with a kind of day job.
That's true for for these last 30 years. Yeah. There's been the Letterman show always going on. And, some producers would have patience for a guy who leaves in the middle of the session to go do something for 3 hours and then come back, and Arif was great about that. Arif Mardin was really patient about that for a few years. But finally he got fed up with it, because a lot of times the real energy could be happening right during that time slot, and guys don't want to just stop the works for one guy, it's silly. So, you do what you can with what you got, with the time that you have.
How did you come to be a member of the world's most dangerous band?
Well, there was a band that was really successful in Japan that I was part of. It was called the 24th Street Band, and it had Hiram Bullock, Steve Jordan, and Clifford Carter, and myself. It was a really cool band. We had a lot of fun playing. Most of the material was written by Clifford Carter and Hiram. Paul Schaefer was not only somebody that I've always really gotten along with and loved a lot as a person and musically, but he knew all of us knuckleheads, from various sessions and stuff. In fact, within the 24th Street Band realm, he produced our second album with us, so we were all really close. And at some point, the 24th Street Band was falling apart right about the time that Schaefer was getting an offer to be the musical director on this new pilot comedy/talk show/music show pilot that was going to last for 13 weeks, guaranteed. And then he asked me, he said, I've just had this meeting with this guy, Dave Letterman, and he wants me to be the MD of his band, and I have this idea, and this had never happened before. He said, I have this idea to do instrumental Motown, Beatles, James Brown, and Rolling Stones stuff as the music for the show. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, that sounds like fun. And he says, I want you and Hiram and Steve Jordan, to be the rest of the band besides myself. Mm-hmm. And I said, that sounds great. When does it start? And he goes, next week. And I said, shit, man, let's go in and, let's have a rehearsal. Let's learn some tunes, And I was a drug addict at the time, by the way. Mm-hmm. I want to mention that I've been sober, for a long time. But before that, I was, kind of really dependent, or I thought I was, on alcohol and cocaine. I was really a bad drug guy. It was really, I'm so lucky to be alive. So what did I do? I called my dealer right away. I said, 13 weeks of solid work, man. I've never had anything like that before. Mm-hmm. This is amazing. Just back the truck up to my door and unload everything. And then the next thing I knew, this 13-week pilot had turned into we got renewed for a little bit longer contract now. And it's like, wow, this is feeling like it's picking up momentum. And all the college kids were starting to watch the show, and the ratings were getting big. And it was a show that started at 12:30 at night, so it was late. Mm-hmm. And the big sponsors started coming in, Budweiser, the cars, and the big advertisers started coming in. It was like, wow, this is full throttle. This is amazing. By the third year, it was like, couldn't believe it lasted this long. And that, and now it's, as we're speaking, it's 32 years. This is our 32nd year of doing it. So who knows how long it could go for. I mean, there's certainly some world records in there as far as having a steady gig on a night, a late night talk show goes.
And you've built the sort of routine of the show into your life.
Yeah, I mean, when it ends, I'll be thankful that it ended, because it's the kind of thing where I've had many chances to go do other things that I couldn't do because I was stuck doing the show, if you want to call it stuck. But when it ends, that's the only reason that I'll ever leave that, because it's just too great for a musician to have a steady gig like that.